Hello and welcome to update number 2 of my home mastering studio video blogs. As you can see, there have been quite a few changes since the first one. This looks a lot less like a garage and a lot more like a room at least. So you can see we have a floor down, the walls are plastered and drying out quite nicely. And we've had some problems and challenges along the way. And I've taken some video and photos of that to show you. So here's how the room looked just after I posted the first video with all the raw ingredients. There's nothing special, just plasterboard, wood for the stud framework, and bags of plaster in the background. And the walls went up surprisingly quickly. Here you can see the job kind of halfway done. That speckled material on the back wall is foam insulation, and then you can see the walls on the left and right have already been plasterboarded. Now, I posted this on Twitter. This is probably the major challenge we had. The house was built in the 1970s, and so the fuse box needed to be updated in order to add all of the extra power requirements for the studio. And unfortunately, after he'd wired it all in, our electrician discovered that none of the RCD circuit breakers that you can see there would actually hold, which indicated that there was some kind of fault in the main house. It's nothing dangerous, just things that needed to be fixed in order to get everything to the standard that was required to meet modern regulations. And that meant that we had about 2 days where we saw a lot of this. Poor old Max spent a long time in our roof, but he did a great job and we got there eventually. And the reason I mention it is just to make you aware of these possible extra costs if you undertake a project like this. It could be something that crops up in the structure of the house that you weren't expecting. Maybe you need stronger rafters in the roof to support the insulation that you're going to be adding, or you could have electrical faults. You know, these are things to bear in mind when you're costing up how to do a job like this. And somebody asked me on Twitter whether we were using a registered electrician to do this. Absolutely. I'd never recommend that anybody does any of this stuff on their own. So here's the room when the plasterboarding is finished. It actually looked pretty nice then, quite nice and light and airy. And then, of course, the walls were plastered and it all starts to look a bit dark. Here is the scene yesterday morning, but we're getting there. The plaster will have dried out by middle of next week, hopefully. So then I've got a decorator coming in. Obviously, I could paint the room myself, but there's plenty of other work to do running the Production Advice website and doing the mastering work for all the clients I have. So that's going to keep me busy. And I just want to say thanks to Max, the electrician, and Glenn, who's been doing the building for me. They've done a fantastic job. They've been really patient with all my strange questions and requests. And if anybody is in the Cambridge area and needs some people to do some similar work for them, I would highly recommend them. I'll put contact details for them in the blog post that goes with this video. So there you go, that's where I'm up to now. Just a short update this time, not so much stuff to tell you yet, but lots of people have been asking me how it's going, so I hope that satisfies your curiosity. In part 3, I'll hopefully have some paint on the walls and some speakers in the room and be getting started on that process of turning it into a usable space. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel to make sure you don't miss out on that. Head over to my website, productionadvice.co.uk, where there's a load more information on home mastering and audio music production in general. And I'll see you for the next video. My name's Ian Shepherd. Thanks for listening. So introduce yourself. Here you go. This is the chap who's doing the building for me, ladies and gentlemen. Give us a thumbs up. Thumbs up what? I am going to use that.